Start the recording. Here we go. Okay. So, as you're well aware, a lot of virtually all meditation traditions encourage us to focus on the breath, um, and that's good. Um, and tonight we're going to go a little deeper, and we're going to bring our focus to the heart, that is to the beating heart, to the pulse, the sense of the heart beating in the whole body. Um, so in order to do that, after we do some warm-ups, we're going to get the heart rate up. It's not something we do a whole lot, but we're going to get the heart rate up, and then we're going to go into a sitting practice, focusing on that. So I guess if I was going to give a title to this class, I would use the old Zen phrase, every cell is a flower, and that's that can be realized. So glad you're here. It's been a beautiful day, and let's begin. So as we're just standing, we're using the attention to just check in, just notice how we're standing, notice the kind of the condition of the body. Are we? It's been a long day. Are we kind of tired? Are we energized? Is there any pain in the body? How's the standing? Just sort of notice, and then noticing also, noticing the quality of the mind right now. And by the mind, I mean the events that are occurring in the space of the mind. So is the mind resting? Is it hyper? Is it worried? Just sort of just checking in as we stand. So it just looks like we're just standing. But in everything in Qigong, there's the posture and the movement, there's the body, and then there's the attention, the quality of consciousness that we bring to the posture or the movement. That's the essential element. So as we're standing, and maybe we're checking our posture or so on, we're using our attention to observe, to feel, to check out. How am I doing right now is the question. How do I feel right now? And here, feel has both qualities. I mean, how do I feel in the sense of the sensations in the body? And how do I feel emotionally? Okay, how do I feel right now? That's all. And so this is a practice. And something that I stumbled upon many years ago, to just pause at odd times of the day and just say, how am I feeling right now? How am I doing right now? And just by pausing and forming the question with our mind, so bringing our consciousness in the present moment, how am I feeling right now? That changes it. So adding the quality of consciousness changes the body and the mind. And so usually you just stop and say, how am I feeling right now? This kind of an in-breath, and then a relaxation. But just that little detail of just checking in is a very active thing, and it changes the body and the mind in that moment. Okay, so how are you feeling? How am I feeling right now? It's a profound question. Okay, and the question is enough. We don't really need an answer. Okay, so let's go ahead and bow to the directions. So starting with the east, turning to the south, and to the west, and to the north, and then above. Okay, extend the senses. What would it feel like to be a mile high? And extend, and then down. And then return to standing. And then maybe just notice, is the quality of the body and the mind a little different now than it was when we first stood? And just notice. Okay, I've been meaning to say this for a long time, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I was taught by one of my teachers, Joan Halifax, how to bow. And this doesn't have to do with bowing when you're alone, because you can bow any way you want to. But if you're bowing in a group, like we will be doing someday in the future, we want to avoid sticking our butts out, particularly if there are people behind us. Okay? So the little thing is just bowing. We don't just bow from the waist, we also bend the knees. And that way, we're not sticking our butt out at somebody. So in the Zen tradition, this is just considered politeness. It's actually considered rude. If you ever go into a Zen temple, I'm warning you, it's considered rude to stick your butt out when you bow, because you're kind of mooning somebody in a sense. So you may notice that. So when you bow, if you just let your knees bend a little bit, then you avoid that. Okay, so it's just a little piece of etiquette to know about. Okay, let's go ahead with backwash and tree and spring. We'll do three sets for the backwash and 3 tree and spring. Okay, so by the third time we're doing this, we may be at the stage of extending, using our consciousness, extending our sense perception out from the hands. So we're actually describing a space, and then down into the earth, and then into the body, moving up the inside of the spine. We're in the body, but also as we stretch, now we're extending. How would it feel to go way out in all directions, all around, like a sphere? And then internally, bringing the attention up inside the body, and then it comes up to the crown, then extends up, goes out, extends infinitely up, infinitely out, all directions. And then down. Now, it's fine to just enjoy the movements, and I don't mean to imply that we always have to, add in this intentionality. But when we get into Qigong and then suffusion and radiance, then that's the consciousness that's doing that. It's the mind that moves the chi. Okay, very good. Let's just loosen up the head, neck, shoulders. Circling the shoulders. So we want to stay in balance. So if we circle them one way, we want to circle them the other way. And it's fine to alternate as well. Okay, and then moving down. In breath. Okay, and then flexing the pelvis, rocking the pelvis, I should say. And then swiveling. Okay, very good. And now the balancing. So however you want to do this. Okay, very good. And as I mentioned last week, you can do this too, just putting on your socks in the morning or your slippers or taking them off, just to stand on one foot. Just that little thing every day, that'll really help the balance. Okay, now let's just drop into standing again. Standing with the body and noticing with the mind. Okay, now the mind might be noticing from within the body, or it might be noticing from the space around the body. We've extended our consciousness around the body, so there's consciousness there, and we may be inhabiting that space as we're observing the body, from the back, from the front, all around, and getting a sense of the mind. The mind can be, the mindfulness is an expanded state of mind, where mind can be the object, just like body would be the object of a body scan. And the Buddha called this expanded body, called it the breath body. Because if we imagine breathing in and out through all the pores of the skin, so we're actually inhabiting this larger body. And then if we rest in that larger body, it's easy to observe the small mind, which will probably be quiet. And then we also naturally observe the sensations, physical sensations of the body. Okay. Okay, very good. So let's do some little more energetic movements. So let's do turning the body to look at the moon. And the way this was taught to me is you just lift the shoulder. We're not really moving the arm or the hand that much. We're just turning and circling that shoulder. And then that moves the weight. And then as we increase, we turn the waist now. And then the hands just are along for the ride. And this can be just very easy. Just let the arms go completely. And shift the weight, turn the waist. And let the arms go. Okay, and now we're going to bring in the intention. We're going to turn even more. And we're going to look up it's kind of over our shoulder. And so this is where the moon comes in. So we're turning the body to look at the full moon, and we're kind of framing it with the hands a little bit. So the ancients, considered the full moon to be awakening. So by looking at the full moon, we're orienting the body and the mind toward the moon, toward the full moon, so toward oneness and sort of toward unity. Okay, so we kind of want to get things going here. Okay, very good. Just enjoy it. Okay, let's reduce. So you can see how that's a practice. It's a movement, and it's also an extending the consciousness beyond the movement, in this case, the full moon. So it includes the body, the whole body, and the intention, the mind. And just for a moment, maybe, or longer, maybe you can just get a sense of an expanded body, of a body that's more porous and bigger. And that includes the breath. So we're not leaving the physical body. It's right here in the middle of everything. We're just letting the mind go free and not be limited by it. So there's this sense of spaciousness. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and break your stance if you want to. And we're going to go into to Trembling Mountain. And in addition to the normal way we do this, just to loosen everything up, let go of everything, let's intensify it toward the end so that we get the heart rate up, so that we're doing some aerobic work. You can do it faster, or you can do it slowly and more deeply, but just so that you're working out a bit. So as you know, the internal organs, that the body is a lot water, liquid. Can you get a sense of the liquidity, particularly in the torso? Okay, let's go ahead and increase, get the heart rate up a bit. Okay, and let's increase a little more as we're getting to the end. Okay, now let's all stop together. I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's very gently go ahead and bring up your stool or cushion. And as you drop into your sitting, then first notice the posture, get the posture aligned. And then you'll naturally notice the breath. Okay, and then let's bring our attention right to our beating heart. You can feel the heart beating. Maybe you can feel um, the blood, the pulsing. Just tune into the sensations of the heart beating. You can count them if you want to. It's much faster than the breath. Can you feel it maybe in the face or in the head? It has kind of a liquid quality. It's kind of smooth. And it's just let the attention rest on that heartbeat. You may feel it in the whole body. So this is yin and yang. So the heart, um, it pushes and rests. Pushes and rests. There are also rhythms within the heartbeat, faster ones which you may notice. So this is your heart, it's my heart, and let's just move beyond that. This is a beating heart, and there are billions of them beating right now, beating in humans, beating in animals. So by focusing attention on the heart, it becomes universal. There are beating hearts all around us in all directions. And then, of course, back through time, so this energy, this movement of the beating heart, no matter what form it takes, has been around for a very, very long time. Just there happens to be a heart beating in you right now. 100 years ago, there wasn't. 100 years from now, there won't be, but hearts will continue to beat. And so it's that rhythm, that switching, that yin yang, yin yang, yin yang, that makes life, that makes advanced life possible. And the mind may play around with this a little, embellish it, that's fine. The heartbeat is measuring time passing. This heartbeat is not only universal, it's also personal and it's very precious. We can, if we like, bring our attention to the heartbeat and with gratitude, with awe, maybe. The breath coming and going is the air element. The heartbeat is the water element. The body is the earth element. And then we can feel the warmth sort of pulsating, the element of heat. And all unfolding in the presence of consciousness. So the body not only is pulsing with a heartbeat, but the breath body, the area around the body, is also alive. And it's in touch with all the plants, animals, life forms all around. Forms sort of this net. It's all pulsating. So the heartbeat is like the breath, is a coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. It's birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. Arriving and passing away. Moment to moment. And at a much quicker pace is consciousness. Consciousness is also rhythmic, vibrating, coming and going very rapidly, moment to moment. Now, all of our senses are based on perceptions, and they are pixelated, vibrating, coming and going, moment to moment, very rapidly. The reality of the senses and of the mind is in a constant state of inconstancy, coming and going, coming and going. In physical birth, we just jump onto the coming part and we manifest. Physical death, we just jump onto the going part and we dissolve. Coming and going is what we do, moment to moment to moment. Whether it's the air coming and going, the water coming and going, any perception, sensory or mental, coming and going, moment to moment. And we extend the sense of the heartbeat from inside the body, around the body. And in Buddhism, there's what's known as the heart of the universe, the beating heart of the universe, which is causing everything to arise and vanish, arise and vanish. Okay, so at a slow pace, it's the breath. In breath, arriving. And the out breath, departing. The heart is doing it more quickly. The mind is doing it very, very quickly. Thoughts arise and pass away. Sensations arise and pass away. And this is just how it is. So let's use the consciousness to extend the beating heart into every cell in the body. Every cell in the body is alive. It's vibrating. All the cells internally, all the cells on the skin. Breathe in through the cells. Breathe out through the cells. Every cell is alive, coming and going. And with the next in-breath, every cell is a flower. Every cell is alive. Every cell is beautiful. Extending out beyond the body. Okay, bring attention to the body. Go ahead and feel free if you want to move the body a little bit. It's a little stiff. Okay, let's go ahead and move a little, and we'll complete this with a little standing practice. And when you're ready, go ahead and stand. And just notice the quality of standing. So continue to stand if you like, or if you'd like to do a flying crane. Okay, let's reduce the movements. Okay, very good. Okay, let's come back to standing. All right. And let's clap one time. 1, 2, 3. Well, thank you so much for your practice. And if you would like to leave the Zoom quietly, that's great. Go ahead and do that. If you would like to remain for questions or comments, that's fine too. And I will go ahead and stop the recording.